With the rise of artificial intelligence, AI data centers have been popping up across the country.
That's right. It's led to pushback from local communities, including several in New Jersey and New York, where there are growing calls for a moratorium on building new data centers. But should people really be worried? Should they be concerned? Well, we're going to find out. Professor of Advanced Media and in residence at the Newhouse School of Public Communication, Shelly Palmer, is here with that answer. Shelly, there was a new Gallup poll that reported 7 out of 10 Americans, they oppose these data centers from being built in their backyard, citing massive amounts of water that they use, power. What is the environmental impact? Is that the concern here, or do you think it's something else? I know it's a two-part question.
Oh, there's a lot of different things going on here. First of all, there are legitimate concerns, and I think it's important to acknowledge this. People are worried about power. Of course they are, the cost of power and what it's going to do to the power grid. They're worried about water consumption. They're worried about the noise because these factories hum, literally the data centers hum like a factory all night long, and you can never turn them off. And then big tax breaks are given to the hyperscalers and the foundational model builders who are building data centers. And then the whole process people are a little sad about because backroom deals are made for all of this before the public hearings in many cases. It's sort of like a done deal. So I think people have legitimate concerns about that. What we don't hear so much about when people vote, 7 out of 10 people vote, the data centers shouldn't be built for AI, is that how terrified people are of AI itself. And I think a lot of that's driving this, and that's not necessarily an illegitimate fear either. We should be terrified of this, but also thrilled because this is a new technology that's taking us to a new and incredible place. And depending on where you are, seems to be how you vote. Doesn't mean we don't need real regulations, and it doesn't mean that this shouldn't be looked at with scrutiny, because it absolutely should.
Shelly, speaking of being terrified about what AI could do in the future, a former Google CEO, Eric Schmidt, he was booed several times when talking about AI at a University of Arizona commencement ceremony. So, the young people are afraid it's going to take their jobs. So in these particular data centers, what is actually going on in there that there's such a need for so many to be popping up?
So the only way to make data meaningful is to turn it into actionable intelligence. Information's not knowledge. You need to process it. In the old days, you'd process it in a data center that drew a lot less electricity because it didn't need the kinds of chips that were in there, and the kinds of computers that were in there didn't need as much power in order to work. These data centers need, in some cases, the amount of power of a small city. We haven't seen that kind of power draw before. So what's required is that amount of electricity in order to do AI compute. And if you want to watch videos, you use the same kind of compute. If you want to play video games, you use the same kind of compute. But AI uses 10, 20, 30 times the amount of that compute. You need those data centers to process it. And we will have them because it's a matter of national security. So this is another thing. When you say, well, I don't want AI, it's like you're saying the most powerful technology for defense as well as to enhance our lives. You're saying, let's not do that. We have to find a compromise. And by the way, if you're not terrified about AI, then you don't understand it well enough. But if you're not thrilled about it, and if you don't understand that you need to be great at it, you don't understand it well enough either. These data centers are part of the future. We have to find a good way to manage our environment and to manage the tax bases and people's feelings with what we really need, which is a way to process the immense amount of information we're creating these days.
Wow. All right, Shelly, we got to go, but shout out your website. We know on the website you go a little bit deeper in this topic, and we just don't have the time to do that here.
ShellyPalmer.com. No extra E. ShellyPalmer.com. Hope you'll come get our newsletter. Come and read our stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shelly. Appreciate your intelligence. His real intelligence, not our artificial intelligence.
It's a little.
Thanks, Shelly.
Thanks, Shelly.